I love the Greatlance, but it's pretty difficult to use correctly indeed. Watching streams like this helped me a lot though. Any direct advice you can give to Greatlance enthusiasts? Oh yeah, man. I have an entire book on fucking Greatlance. It's one of the weapons that has the highest amount of like things you can't do when you're fighting someone. Like, okay, say the guy is running to the side, and can't do that. If the guy is running to the side, you can attempt to do that, but I mean, shit, careful. If the guy has a shield, I mean, the weapon gets shut down. If the guy has a parry tool, can't do that. Can't do that. Can't do that. Can't do that. See how many things, like, depends on what your opponent has. When the opponent has a parry tool out, you're limited to shield pokes, backstab attempts, and running attacks like that are actually very hard to parry, so you can do those as well. Although you have to be careful about those running attacks. Really don't throw these from neutral, man. There's only like one instance where you want to throw these. Is you know the opponent is going to be stationary. Sometimes when somebody is spamming with like a curved sword or a straight sword, you can actually like buffer a running attack like this to punish them. Whereas like say the poke would be too slow, like you'd be able to roll out RDR1. That's a thing. Honestly, man, I think the secret to Greatlance, because like the other pure Greatlance player that I feel was really good with Greatlance, like pure Greatlance, not like relying on an offhand weapon like most people do. Like the other pure Greatlance player that was really good in my opinion was Toko. And something that Toko and I have in common is we have a very strong backstab game, and I feel like it plays a huge role with Greatlance because since the hitbox is so narrow, like as soon as the opponent goes near you, you kind of need to be able to free aim and move your character around, whether it's for a BS or even just free aiming your attack period. That's really the key in my opinion to playing Greatlance properly. One thing I like to do as well with Greatlance, see my opponent goes behind me, I'll turn around like as my opponent goes behind me, and I lock onto them after they get behind me to then shield poke. That's something I like to do. Obviously, it always depends on your opponent. Some people will try to bait you. I've seen Distant do that. Well, you go one side and run to the other. In those instances, honestly, you kind of have to let him do their thing and punish with it. You have to adapt to the player itself in those instances, because technically, you don't really have a lot of matchups that you win on paper with Greatlance. I mean, as soon as you introduce parry tool, it shuts you down a lot. A shield shuts you down a lot. I mean, there's a lot of setups that shut you down. Even the hyper armor is pretty tricky to deal with Greatlance because your attacks are fairly slow, so you're kind of limited to just using the pokes. But something that's really good about Greatlance that a lot of people don't use, it's that two-handed R2, man. One of the reasons why I'm very successful with Greatlance against Grim is because of those R2s. Those two-handed R2s. Like, Grim will try to get near me, go around me like any good player would to get around that narrow headbox. And you can free aim those R2 and they hit so many times. It's even for quick step, it can catch like a latent quick step, like any quick step, it can catch them very reliably. Now, obviously, if they reaction dodge it, like any attack in the game, you can reaction dodge anything. But it's still a very good attack to throw. And surprisingly, the recovery is very generous for you, so even if you miss this, yeah, it's hard to get backstabbed with Greatlance, honestly. Like, they need to be already behind you almost when you start up the attack. So if you're careful about when you throw your attacks, you should be fine. Alright, let's move on to another question. I'll pass on the PC CE experience. I already tasted it. I already tasted it plenty. Is there a dead wolf here? No. I've had a cheater made my stamina regen go backward. What the fuck, dude? Amazing. That almost looked like two people. You know what? Let's do a bit of that. Oh, there's a dark moon here. Let's go kill the dark moon. There he is. Okay, I think we can backstab this guy. It's a good R2 right there. It was the right play. Another blue. Alright, let's go kill the blue. Get go. Gotta take the time to learn it, but I mean that's fine. Cause, I mean technically it's gonna be new for everyone. Depends like what kind of stuff carries over. Obviously, you know, some of the same weapons from people who have played the original. I think the people who have played the original are gonna have an advantage for sure, but to what extent we don't know. But I don't think it's gonna be like a major advantage, and it's gonna even out pretty quickly. I'm guessing. Oh, nice. There's another invader in here. That means we got a gank. No, this guy must be Dried Finger. Whoops. Oh wow, bait and switch, not bad. He could have BS'd, the red could have BS'd the host there. I don't know what the red is doing. I could have BS attempt here, but that was unsafe, so. Oh, the red actually is attempting to hit me, okay. Let's kill that red. Kill that bad red. Fucking scrub, get out of here. Yeah. Oh, I could have comboed it even further. Woohoo! He's bad here. A lot of people ask me, like, how do you counter Gundyr? Like, that sort of movement, as soon as you see the Gundyr, you know, run to the side. It's no big deal, really.